Clark hustling away.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabrey's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected.
Well, they're going to go and look at it.
We'll have another jump ball.
Both J.C. Sheldon and Caitlin Clark are talking to the official. They're both going at it, saying, hey, oh, there's a little extra right there. Uh-oh.
The category of suspension worthy. I mean, there's just nothing basketball about it.
No.
Wow, is Mabrey going to stay in this game?
What happens when revenge and redemption collide on the court? The Indiana Fever had only one mission in this fiery rematch: make the Connecticut Sun pay. From Caitlin Clark's explosive comeback to Sophie Cunningham's unrelenting statement, this game wasn't just about points. It was personal. And trust me, the drama reached a tipping point you won't believe. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Yeah, I think no question this will get upgraded.
Yeah, no question.
Two arms above the shoulders.
Mabrey. That's a flagrant foul. It's a hard foul. You could say it's a play on the ball, but
what do you do when your rival takes things too far? For Caitlin Clark, this wasn't just hypothetical, it was personal. The bad blood between Clark and J.C. Sheldon didn't start in this game. It went back years to college ball, where both were known for their intensity. They'd clashed on the court before, facing off in some of the most heated matchups of their careers. But on this night, the rivalry hit a new level, and it only took a split second to ignite the chaos.
I'm a passionate player, but at the end of the day, I'm here to play basketball, and that's what it is, and my game's going to talk, and that's all that really matters, and I love this game, and I'm going to give it everything I have, so I think that's what competitors do. You just step right back up to the challenge.
Clearly, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, there's some resentment, as I've articulated before. What people are missing, Monica, is I have no problem with it whatsoever. Oh. Okay, yes, there's resentment because, first of all, you're absolutely right. This is much ado about nothing.
And so there is probably a lack of patience with them and maybe not making all the smartest plays over the course of the game. But I don't know that I would have even had this conversation this morning, Molly.
In the heat of competition, tempers flare. You know, last time I checked, women got tempers just like men do. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem at all. Ain't no big deal at all.
The crowd had already been loud, buzzing with energy, but the entire arena froze when it happened. In a scramble for position, Sheldon got too close, too physical, and the result was a blatant poke to Clark's eye. The pain on Clark's face was immediate, but the shock of the moment, the sheer audacity of it, struck even harder. For a second, there was silence, a shared gasp from the stands. Then came the explosion, booing, shouting, the crowd instantly choosing sides. Clark, though, wasn't about to let it slide.
I stand by my past proclamations that there's resentment towards her because of that. But I want to take it a step further. There's also resentment towards her because she instigates resentment towards her sometimes. I love it personally. Now, here's the thing about it, because I want to make sure everybody understands what I'm about to say. Caitlin Clark being that golden goose per se, that rising tide that's lifting all boats. Oh, Caitlin could clap at you now.
Yes.
Caitlin could antagonize you now. Remember in college, doggy, Eminem, the whole Angel Reese thing with her started because when Caitlin was giving it to everybody else, she was the one waving in their face.
She shoved Sheldon away, her face a mix of anger and disbelief. This wasn't just about taking a hard foul. This was a line being crossed. Clark's push wasn't just a reflex, it was a message. She wasn't going to let Sheldon or anyone else intimidate her, but that moment of tension sparked something bigger. Players started shoving as the refs desperately tried to regain control. The Sun fed off Sheldon's energy, leaning into their physical play, while the Fever dug in, determined not to let it happen again. The technical fouls handed out in the aftermath only added fuel to the fire. Coaches were yelling, the game was spiraling, and it all went back to that one moment, the eye poke that turned a battle battle into a war. But while things were heating up, the Fever weren't about to let this one moment define the game, and someone in particular, Sophie Cunningham, had seen enough. The answer to all this physicality was coming, and it wasn't going to be subtle.
Clark and J.C. Sheldon have been competing against each other at Ohio State and Iowa, respectively, for years in the Big Ten, okay, competition. First overall draft pick, fifth overall draft pick, same draft class. Then you've got, who else was involved in this? What you want me to say?
You need to start. You'll
Talk
get
to
it.
me.
Whatever Molly asks.
Okay, I'll ask you the same thing I asked in the commercial break, right? Is this a big deal, or is this just because more people are paying attention and it's women?
But to me, as I'm watching it, Caitlin Clark is an incredible competitor, as you heard her say post-game. She's doing plenty of talking with her game. And I will add to this particular game, the Connecticut Sun are struggling badly this year.
When Sophie Cunningham stepped onto the court, her mindset was clear. Enough was enough. She wasn't just thinking about this game, she was carrying the weight of past frustrations. The Sun had built a reputation for pushing boundaries, and Cunningham had seen her share of close calls, hard fouls, and injuries, the kind that left players limping off the court. For her, it was personal. This wasn't just a rivalry anymore. It was about fairness and protecting her teammates. All those feelings built up over time, and this game was the breaking point. By the fourth quarter, the tension in the arena was thick. The crowd, already frustrated by the referee's lack of calls, was on edge. The Fever bench, furious. It felt like every hard play by the Sun was being ignored. When J.C. Sheldon went in rough again, using that same abrasive energy she'd been riding all game, you could almost feel Cunningham's patience snap. She wasn't going to let this slide. The game paused for a fraction of a second, and then it happened. A moment that would change everything. Cunningham's foul wasn't subtle. Sheldon drove into the lane, and Cunningham stepped in with authority. It wasn't a regular defensive move, it was a full-body statement. The collision echoed through the arena, and Sheldon hit the floor hard. The whistle blew, and the arena erupted. Fever fans were on their feet, screaming as if years of pent-up frustration had finally been released in one play. Cunningham didn't back down as she stared Sheldon down before walking away. Her message delivered loud and clear. Of course, the reactions came fast. Critics questioned if it was borderline reckless, while others called it overdue. The Fever coach later defended Cunningham, saying, "We don't play to hurt, but we play to protect." Sophie knows where that line is. If anyone doubted her intentions, that foul erased all debate. This was about standing up for her team. The refs quickly ejected her, but for the Fever, it wasn't just about losing Cunningham. That act of defiance sparked the entire team and fueled their dominant finish. More than a statement, it shifted the game's momentum. The Indiana Fever's 88-71 win over the Connecticut Sun wasn't just another game, it was a message. This wasn't about the scoreline, it was about standing together through adversity. Sophie Cunningham's hard foul might have drawn debates, but it fired up her teammates and sent a clear warning to the league. They won't back down, no matter who stands in their way. With officials under scrutiny for their failure to control escalating physicality, the Fever's unity shone brighter than ever. What do you think about players stepping up when referees lose control? And with this rivalry heating up, what could happen next?